When we made the movie, Barbara Broccoli and Paul McGuigan were hoping to get Elvis Costello to write a song, and they went to his concert to see him.
I was doing a solo show called Detour, in which I employed a giant fake television behind me onto which I projected images, and curiously enough, I had chosen publicity still of Gloria Grahame to illustrate a song that I was singing in that show. So I think it was fated, really.
We just wanted to say thank you to Elvis for making this beautiful song for the film, and thank him for performing as well.
And thank you all for being here very much.
Thanks for sharing this.
Am I fine? Am I pleasing? Are you pitying? Are you teasing?
One of the things that I found most interesting about working on the song for this movie is reflecting upon how we keep people sort of contained in the time that we know them most. Because like many people, I know Gloria Grahame's face from very, very particular films. I mean, In a Lonely Place, The Bad and the Beautiful. I come to understand the biographical details of this much later period. You know, just simply a working person who's lived beyond the time where they're most celebrated, and they've got some fame due to that first connection. And then the relationship between herself and this young actor.
Among all of your enemies.
The story, as we understand it from Peter Turner's memoir, and the way it's acted by Annette Bening and Jamie Bell.
From the first blush of affection.
Both the secrets that the lovers keep from one another, and also the way in which gazes between them can be interpreted differently.
You shouldn't look at me. You shouldn't look at me that way.
Which is, heaven knows, true of almost every relationship. You're wondering, is that a look of desire, or is that a look of judgment? You know, is that a look of vulnerability, or is it a look of vanity in the way somebody appears to be? Perhaps I'm attracted to those sort of twists and turns of the way people express themselves. These are uncommon characters. I mean, not just Gloria's history and career, but it's not two people that everybody that goes to see this film will go, well, that's just like me, because obviously their experiences are quite unusual.
Don't take more.
One of the songwriters that I really admired when I was learning to write and still love is Smokey Robinson, you know, because he would take a phrase that seemed commonplace, like I second the motion, and turn it into I second that emotion. So I learned from that he just, by changing a couple of syllables, he got a whole other meaning. It's a common phrase, you know, you shouldn't look at me that way because there'll be some outcome from that. It's how you subvert it with the other ideas. With somebody who writes their own songs, there are specifics to where that thought began and ended, and how they're connected to things that happen to you. In some cases, it's not important to share them with the audience because you're writing them for other people to see themselves.
Your own reflection. You shouldn't look at me. You shouldn't look at me that way. You shouldn't look at me that way.